Ms. Seth, thank you so much for being here today. My first question to you would be, what would you say were the highlights of the last year? And going forward, what are your key focus areas?
Highlights of last year was a lot of diversity of the kind of projects we did, a lot of diversity of craft that came from it. From a destinations point of view, I'm a wedding planner. So from that point of view, we went to some very exciting destinations. We also managed to plan a wedding through the pandemic, not knowing if we'll actually go to the destination or not. So I think the diversity of the work we did, the destinations we went to, the people that we met, and that entire intercultural immersion that happened was a really, really big part of, I think, our growth. And the plan for the future is to invest in the right human capital. And secondly, scale up with a lot of quality work that we do, invest in training and development, and be able to turn out some good industry professionals who take the live industry and the business of love and happiness very seriously.
What would be the 3 sector-specific challenges of your domain, if I ask you?
One of the biggest challenges post-pandemic has actually become the people that we need now. There are a lot of myths and that, you can be just a 12th pass or you can just have a phone and a laptop and you become an event manager and all that. No. In the business of weddings, even more, because your EQ has to be high, your technical know-how has to be high. So I think for me, the attitude of the people who want to join the industry has become a challenge to maneuver through, because in the pandemic, we have learned to do with less. We have learned to say no, but we are back in the real world. So I think the mindset of people needs a intense shift into knowing that there is no shortcuts in life. There is no escape to hard work. And the business of events, and especially weddings, because it's so emotions and people-centric, is not an easy one. So people scouting and sustenance for me has been quite a big challenge, and learning to maneuver through that. And you also discover a lot of new talent, a lot of diverse talent as well. So I think that's been one of the challenges. And getting people to understand that you can't only work remotely, you have to come to office, and that's important. Physical contact, meeting, interactions, brainstorming, venting, discussing stress things, doing things together is very, very important. So I think the mindset shift for me has been quite an interesting aspect to maneuver through. So
we all know that for any business, getting funds, getting the financial aid is very important. Would you say that as our women entrepreneurs, do they face issues while acquiring funds from financial institutions? Have you faced any similar issues?
So I have been a self-sustained business so far. It's my 13th year. Having said that, I do understand the importance of getting funded for scalability. Have I faced issues? Not really, because I have a lot of friends who have got funded and people have willingly come to support. I'm not sure if it's a woman thing or a man thing. I think it's a product thing, right? And what an investor sees as a future by putting his or her money. So no, I don't think getting the money is the challenge. I think the wiser and more educated thing to do is, how do you value engineer and use that money? I said it in Site 2 as entrepreneurs, it's, you're so bootstrapped all the time that when you get a large chunk of money, sometimes you're like, oh my God, let's do this fancy, let's buy a bigger office, let's hire more people. But I think you really have to focus on keeping your systems lean, your profitability high, and your human capital, your people. You have to care about them and they need to see growth. Not just to say, oh, your family to me. No. How are they growing in their career? How are they growing financially? How are they feeling more secure? So I don't think getting the investment is a challenge. I think value engineering, that is very important. And man or woman, investor sees your P&L. Investor's going to see what the ROI for them is going to be. And I think there's a lot of money out there and a lot of good people who are willing to put that money in the right thing. So your product is critical. Funding, I don't think, is that tough. And then managing that funding is very, very important. So that's my viewpoint.
Right.